Hey guys, Michelle from Michelle's Craft Corner here, and in today's video I'm going to show you how I did the pop-up mechanic for my pop-up card using the Hold On to Hope bundle. Now this design you could do with any of our wonderful stamp sets, but in this video I'm just going to show you how I did the pop-up. So if you want the full tutorial, check that out. That is a separate video. Let's get started. Alright, so here's the example of that pop-up effect. And yet again, this is a separate full tutorial if you want to know how to do all the steps of this card, but I'm just going to show you how I did this pop-up. Now, because this was green on green, I thought it might be a little hard to see, so we're going to do a couple different colors. But to do this pop-up, you just need a card base and whatever base card you want it to be. So for this one, I'm doing Soft Sky. And just for a good contrast, I'm going to be using just some Whisper White for that pop-up hill. Alright, so we've got our card base ready. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab my Stampin' Trimmer, and I'm just going to cut off a strip at 2 inches. So just a nice 2-inch strip, the 8.5 by 11 side. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and score that right in the middle at 4 1/4. Can see that score right there. Okay, so it's the same size as our card base to begin with. All right, and then I'm also going to put it back in the trimmer and score it again at just at 1/4 inch. Okay. Okay. So we've got the score in the center. And then just that 1/4 inch fold all along the bottom. All right, so now we're done with the trimmer. I'm going to go ahead and move that off to the side. So go ahead and fold it in the center, nice and even. Make sure that you got it really good. Doesn't hurt to go ahead and grab a bone folder and give it a good crease. Okay. All right, now we're going to go ahead and grab our paper snips. And to kind of help it, well, you're not going to be able to see this very well, but to kind of help it be able to make that fold, we're going to cut a triangle out of it. And to make sure that it's nice and uniform, we're going to go ahead and fold it in half and then cut at an angle. Now, it doesn't have to be a specific perfect size, but you do want kind of a sharp triangle all the way to that point. So you'll see, fold it a little bit. So it'll look kind of like that with our fold. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and give it a good crease on our edges. Now, the other thing I recommend for this, especially for the first time you're doing a couple, is just have some washi tape handy. Now, the washi tape is so awesome because it's repositionable. So you can test your folds and make sure you have it lined up perfectly before you glue it down. So very, very important. So now we're going to take it and stick it at an angle. Now you want the crease, the center crease, to match up with the center crease of the card for the fold. And then you also want it to be at a bit of an angle. Now, depending on your design and what you may stack or add to this, you may need to trim it a little bit more. You may need to go smaller. Or you may need to have it further back on your card. Keep in mind, whatever you add to it, so say you're going to add, so this is handy, this cute cat. You want it to be high enough so that when you fold it, it's not poking out of the card. You don't want it to be, well, you don't want to stick it way up here. Let me see if I can give you an example. Okay, you don't want to stick it way far and then you close it and whatever you have is going to be sticking out the end. That makes sense. So I recommend definitely first time doing this, stick it towards the back. You need to line up that crease with the center line. And then we're going to go ahead and just grab some washi tape. Does not matter what color because it's not staying. This is just to test our folds. So we're going to line up that crease. And I'm just going to do a little washi tape just on this back side. Okay, this is hard to do upside down here. Let me turn it to the side. It'll be easier for me to see. Okay, there we go. So you're kind of working at triangles here. Okay, trying to make sure you guys can see this, and the camera is fun. Okay, so there we go. I'm just sticking a piece of washi tape down just to hold that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Same thing, you want to kind of have a similar curve. So you see this slight triangle I've got going on? You want to have a nice slight triangle. Rip that piece so it doesn't catch. Okay, and then prior to gluing it down or adding things, you want to test and make sure you don't need to adjust your placement. That's why I recommend the washi tape, because if you're off, you can adjust it prior to gluing it down. So now we're just going to go ahead and give it a nice fold. Now for this one, because it's just a little bit longer than the edge, I'm going to just go ahead and trim that off. And yet again, depending on your design, you might want to do hills or something else, but you do want it to not be poking through when you close it. And then when we open it, we want it to just kind of pop up. Now when we test it, of course, the base of this is going to not be glued, so it's going to kind of want to hop a little bit. But just as long as it moves smoothly, like that, and it's right centered, then you're good. So now that it looks like we're good to go, I'm going to go ahead and grab my tear and tape. Now the tear and tape is awesome for this because you don't have to hold it and wait for it to dry. I highly recommend this for this project. So we're just going to take a strip of that and tear it. And what's nice is you can kind of lift up a little bit and stick that tear and tape underneath without having to move that washi tape too much. All right, so we're just going to peel that off and then give it a little press down. And then once you have that tear and tape on there, you don't need the washi tape anymore. We can take that off. All right, that one. Let's stick this one underneath. And of course you can add more, you can add less. You don't have to do the tear and tape, but I just find it's pretty easy to do. I'll get that off. Okay, give that a little press down. And we'll go ahead and take our washi tape off because now we don't need it. Go. Just be gentle with it. There we go. Okay. And then we have our basic little hill. We'll go ahead and give it one more test here. Fold. And then it pops up. Now, of course, you can practice, same thing with the washi tape. Whatever you want to put, whether it's a sentiment or a character. This is one of the pandas from Celebration that I just had sitting at my desk. So yet again, test to make sure that when you close it, whatever you have is not going to be too high up. Now, he is perfect, but say I had something. Let me grab something a little bigger just for example purposes. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's say I wanted to do a sentiment or something. Definitely you want to test it prior to sticking it on there just to make sure that when you close it, well, let me actually tape this so you can see it. There we go. It says happy day, and this yet again was just something sitting on my desk. So happy day, very cute. And look, we're going to go ahead and practice close it, and it's poking out. So obviously that's not a really good placement. I would recommend if you're doing sentiments or things you want in the center, you may want to have them scored and stuck in the center, similar to like we did with the cross. So scored the cross in half and stuck it in there. So I look forward to seeing some of your pop-up card ideas. Hopefully this will give you a good starting point and idea to do for all kinds of other fun pop-up cards. Thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And for all the product links, you can check out the comments below. Thanks guys. Bye-bye.